top 1% of attractive people know something you don't. While you're trying to impress them with compliments and availability, they're using a counterintuitive psychological weapon that literally rewires the reward centers of your brain. This isn't romance, it's neuroscience. Today, we're dissecting the clinical psychology behind why playing hard to get and making someone work for you creates obsession. I'm going to show you the exact neurological mechanisms that make this work and why your brain is chemically incapable of resisting it. Fair warning, once you understand these mechanisms, you'll never see dating the same way again. Let's start with the Ben Franklin effect, a phenomenon so powerful that it was weaponized by one of America's founding fathers. Benjamin Franklin discovered that when you ask someone to do you a favor, they don't resent you, they like you more. This violates everything we think we know about human relationships. The clinical explanation lies in cognitive dissonance theory, pioneered by Leon Festinger in 1957. When someone performs an action that benefits you, their brain experiences a psychological conflict. To resolve this dissonance, their subconscious mind convinces them that they must like you, otherwise why would they help you? This isn't manipulation, it's fundamental brain architecture. Yale University researchers conducted a landmark study in 2019 that quantified this effect with brain imaging technology. Participants who performed small favors for strangers showed increased activation in the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the exact brain region responsible for positive emotional associations and attachment formation. The more favors they performed, the stronger the neural pathway became. This creates what neuroscientists call investment justification. The human brain is essentially running a cost-benefit analysis. If I'm investing time and effort into this person, they must be valuable to me. Your rational mind follows your actions, not the other way around. Now here's where it gets psychologically dangerous. When you combine the Ben Franklin effect with intermittent reinforcement schedules, you create the exact neurochemical cocktail that addiction specialists study. Playing hard to get isn't about being mean. It's about triggering the brain's dopamine prediction error signal. Stanford neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky demonstrated that the brain releases more dopamine when a reward is uncertain than when it's guaranteed. This is the same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. When you're inconsistently available, you're not being difficult. You're literally activating the same reward circuits that keep people pulling slot machine levers. The clinical term for this is variable ratio reinforcement, and it's the most powerful behavioral conditioning tool in psychological science. B.F. Skinner's experiments in the 1950s proved that behaviors reinforced on unpredictable schedules are nearly impossible to extinguish. When you text back immediately every time, you're on a fixed schedule, predictable and neurologically boring. But when your availability is uncertain, every interaction becomes a dopamine jackpot. The person's brain literally cannot stop thinking about you because their reward prediction system is in overdrive. This is why people become obsessed with those who seem just out of reach. Let's break down the neurological sequence that happens when you ask someone for a small favor. First, their anterior cingulate cortex activates. This is the conflict detection system. Should I help or not? When they choose to help, their brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Simultaneously, their mind begins post hoc rationalization. I wouldn't help someone I didn't care about, therefore I must care about this person. This creates what psychologists call the foot in the door phenomenon. Each small favor makes the next one more likely, and their emotional investment compounds. Within weeks, they've built an entire narrative in their mind about your importance to them. Harvard psychologist Ellen Langer conducted experiments showing that people who performed even trivial favors, like holding a door or lending a pen, rated the recipient as significantly more likable and attractive afterwards. The favor size didn't matter. What mattered was the psychological commitment. This is why the most attractive people never chase. They create situations where others pursue them. They ask for small investments. Can you recommend a restaurant? Do you know anything about this topic? Each micro favor is a neural deposit into your attachment account in their brain. You're not begging for attention. you're strategically building their psychological investment. Now let's address the scarcity principle, which is the psychological foundation of playing hard to get. Robert Cialdini's research at Arizona State University revealed that humans place higher value on things that are rare or difficult to obtain. This isn't cultural, it's evolutionary biology. Our ancestors who pursued scarce resources survived better than those who didn't. When you're always available, you signal low mate value from an evolutionary psychology perspective. Your brain is still running Pleistocene-era software. The person you're interested in subconsciously thinks, if they're always free, other high-value mates aren't competing for their time. This triggers what researchers call social proof deficit. The University of Rochester conducted a fascinating study where they had participants rate potential partners under different availability conditions. Subjects who were told a person was highly sought after and very busy rated them as 37% more attractive than identical profiles described as usually available. The brain's value assessment system uses availability as a proxy for quality. This creates what economists call artificial scarcity, but there's nothing artificial about the neurological response. When you limit your availability, you're not playing games, you're speaking the ancient language that the limbic system understands. Scarcity triggers the amygdala's fear of loss circuit. Here's the neuroscience that connects both principles. Every time someone does you a favor while you remain somewhat scarce, you're creating what's called a bidirectional investment loop. They invest in you through favors, triggering the Ben Franklin effect. Simultaneously, your limited availability triggers dopamine uncertainty. This combination is neurologically devastating. Princeton researchers found that this dual activation, effort investment plus reward uncertainty, creates the strongest pair bonding signals measurable in human brain imaging. It's the exact formula that creates long-term attachment. You're not manipulating, you're aligning with how human neurology actually functions. Clinical application is counterintuitive but precise. Stop trying to prove your value through constant availability and excessive giving. Instead, create strategic moments where they can invest in you through small favors, then become less available. This isn't about being cold, it's about respecting how the human reward system evolved. MIT neuroscientist Anne Graybiel discovered that the brain's habit formation circuits require variable reward timing. Predictable interactions create tolerance, like a drug user needing higher doses. Unpredictable positive interactions create sensitization. Each one feels more intense than the last. You want to be the person whose rare attention feels like winning the lottery. The dark reality is that our conscious mind creates romantic narratives, but our subconscious brain is running cost-benefit calculations every second. When someone invests effort into you while experiencing uncertainty about your availability, their brain has no choice but to assign you high value. This is the same neurological mechanism that keeps people in toxic relationships. They've invested so much that their brain cannot accept the sunk cost. The difference is, you're using this ethically at the beginning to establish genuine interest. UCLA researchers found that couples where one partner initially played hard to get reported 23% higher long-term satisfaction because the pursuit phase created stronger neural bonding pathways. So here's your clinical protocol. First, identify small, specific favors you can authentically request. Advice, recommendations, small tasks. Each favor should take minimal effort, but require conscious decision-making on your part. Second, after each positive interaction, become less available for a period. Don't disappear completely. That triggers abandonment anxiety. Create what psychologists call optimal frustration, where they wonder about you but aren't panicked. Third, when you do engage, be fully present and reward their investment with genuine positive emotion. This creates the intermittent reinforcement schedule that neuroscience shows is irresistible. You're not playing games. You're speaking directly to the ancient brain systems that actually control attraction. The conscious mind follows where the dopamine circuits lead.